Nick is all fire, always ready for the action. Is it part of who you are in real life too?
I think that maybe you onto something there. And not until this moment, I had a realization when you said that maybe there's a lot of me that just it's always down to do the most.
Mm-hmm.
But when we designed this character, he was meant to be that. He was meant to be someone that can come and disrupt, and kind of to disagree, to really challenge the rules of engagement, not only on the field but internally. So I think that's definitely something we worked really hard at, in creating a character that walks a very fine line between breaking all the rules and then following them. Someone that can challenge this team to go the distance in order to get the bad guy. And I think that gives Mark Harmon's character, in many ways, he is very much, for that. Mm-hmm. And I think that Nick Torres is almost like a young Gibbs, and I think Gibbs, one of the reasons why Gibbs, I think, brought him to the team is because he can relate to his, wild, animal mentality, that lone wolf mentality, and I think that Mark Harmon's character can really relate to that, and I think that's why he makes sense in the team.
Being a son of an immigrant family, what was the hardest challenge you had to overcome?
The hardest challenge was not to forget my roots. That was the biggest challenge. You come to America and arguably the trend, pop culture tells you here's where young people are going. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that direction, sometimes that destination is far from your culture, far from who you are, far from where you come from. And the biggest challenge was never forgetting my roots. One of the ways that I did my best to not forget was to never forget how to speak Spanish. Right? Mm-hmm. It was, I was 14 years old when I got here. I didn't know how to speak English. And so Spanish was my first language. But not forgetting, not giving up on my Spanish language, it kept me connected to my roots, because that's how I speak to my mother. That's how I speak to my father. My mother still doesn't speak English, Mm-hmm. So that was probably the biggest gift that I can do today now, thinking about now I'm 37 years old, and when I go back to what I did right was that, never forgetting my roots, because today, in the day and age that we live, the biggest gift you have in this country, the United States, is to never forget who you are and where you come from. Your roots are your biggest asset today. No matter how under attack, and no matter how perception, on our minorities, specifically our immigrant story, can be happening in this very moment. It is no surprise that we are not only the majority, but we have the strongest opinion because we are based on history. Mm-hmm. We are based in heritage, right? We are hardworking people. So today, being an immigrant is the biggest gift you can have in this country, no matter what what attacks or what other opinions might be. Being an immigrant is the biggest gift this country has ever had.
But the actual, you were talking a little bit about it. The actual political context is very tough on immigration. Mm-hmm. Do you think the outcome of that could actually be very positive? Do you think there is something? Because it looks very dark right now at the moment,
Mm-hmm. I think 100%. I think you're onto something really special. I think your question is very timely, and I believe that. I believe that every couple of decades, certain generations get comfortable, and it's important to remember that we have to be engaged, that we have to contribute, that we have to be a part of the major conversation, and we can't just let anybody talk about us without us being at the table. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's awakening something different in what this country is, and the backbone of this country, and the DNA of this country, which is immigrants, right? Mm-hmm. So I think you're right. I think there's something positive that can really come out of there. It's almost like a re-educating of what this country really looks like, mm-hmm. And awakening all minorities to say, oh, wait a minute, we are actually the majority. Why are we afraid? Mm-hmm. We should be more outspoken. We should get more involved, and we should help. Things go in the right direction. Mm-hmm. So I think you're right. I think that I think that this is a way to really unite all the many flags that we wave in this country, and hopefully embrace them under one flag, which is our American flag, because this is our home, and really help the engine steer the United States where it needs to be. So I think you're right.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Okay.